Brad.
All right, guys. Sorry to keep you guys waiting so long. It was a little bit of post round one chatter, but we just couldn't be any more excited than we are about Panay. Just really stoked. Going through the process, we truly we got to a point where we pretty much identified three players, and he was one of those three that we would just be extremely, let's just say, through the roof about. And to be able to land him, he's going to be an integral and an impactful piece to our franchise going forward for years to come. He's going to be a great addition to our offensive line. He's just a transcendent talent. I can't quite remember a guy that had feet like him in a long time, but it's not just the athletic ability. He's got the toughness, he's got the grit, he's got the strain, he's got the intangibles that we're looking for. He's a great kid. He comes from a great family. He comes from a football family. His dad's a coach. His brothers are college football players, one's at Oregon now. So we just really love the makeup, and we couldn't be any more jacked about landing Panay and how it all unfolded. But couldn't be more excited. He's gonna be a core piece of what we're doing going forward. Questions?
All right, Tim.
Hey, Brad, thanks for taking the time. We saw your reaction after the pick. You're obviously very excited about that one. Congratulations. But, can you just speak to the situation that Penny's coming into, too? You've got some young, talented guys. You talked about it before the draft, how you were excited about the pieces you had in the offensive line. Now you add a good one. Just talk about the situation he's coming into with some veteran guys that he can learn from, some guys that have had success. And is it really a good situation in your viewpoint of the situation he's coming into?
Yeah, I think it's a great situation. We have enough veteran players, in that room that can really provide guidance to Panay, and he just has to be himself. He's not under any pressure to be this or that. He just has to come in, and we'll allow him to develop and evolve to the position and to the unit. But we don't have any reservations of him being a fit. He definitely is. But in terms of situation, and even Hank, Hank Fraley, he does a heck of a job. And he was involved in the recruiting process early on when he was at UCLA. So being that he's already had kind of a prior history with them, so it's been a great fit. And just the dialogue that we've had with him throughout the process, all the way up till let's just call it a couple of days ago, with Dan and myself, it's been A1. So really excited, but definitely coming into a great situation.
Larry Lage.
Brad, now that's over, will you tell us who the other two players were?
I'll keep that for competitive reasons. I'll keep that, but it was down to three guys that we were really looking forward to landing, and so him being one of them. Very excited.
Follow up that you can deflect as well if you want, of course. But if he wasn't available, who would you have taken if you stayed at 7?
We would have looked at possibly it would have been one of a similar position to him or one other position. I would say that.
John Macaroon.
Hey, Brad, congratulations. I was just wondering, at that time when the selection came through at number 7, did the phone ring with any potential offers that you found to be intriguing that you might have considered? Because we did hear a little bit, maybe potential reports that maybe the asking price was high for teams that might have called prior to the selection.
Yeah, I'm not sure about, how about I didn't get the response that the asking price was high. Obviously didn't go forward with some of them. I'd say before the draft, it was a lot heavier before round 1 started, and then, but I will say at our pick, phone rang from a couple of teams, but we just felt so good about Panay, it wasn't intriguing enough for us to risk not landing him.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Eric Woodyard.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Brad? How you doing, man? Congrats on the pick tonight, too.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.
How was it for y'all? A lot of people see this as a smart pick. you guys could have went with flashy picks. Like, was it difficult to resist a flashier guy? I mean, it was a lot of options there, but just like going with that smart pick, going with your gut. How was that, man?
Well, I mean, I think Panay is pretty flashy himself. I will say that, but I understand what you're saying. Obviously, it's termed often not as sexy when you go with the big lineman, but and sometimes they say it's safe and it's sound, but I think it will be very, very. I guess the sexy, attractive pick when he's rolling with our offensive line during the season and making an impact in both phases, run and pass.
Thanks, man. Mike O'Hara.
Congratulations, Brad. You're 1 for 1. Hey, when you hit it
Thanks.
like that, then your first round like that, how does it set you up for the rest of the draft, like day 2 now? You've got that set, that one big chunk. Then going forward, what do you look for in day 2 and then beyond?
Yeah, we're gonna stick with the same plan that we had at 7, or if we would have, possibly moved in any direction up or back, and that's just get the best football player. We're not gonna, like I said, and you guys probably say, well, that's GM speaking, but no, it's really, I mean, we're not gonna anchor ourselves or pigeonhole ourselves into we got to get this position or that position. I mean, hey, look, if it's another offensive lineman that's a high impact player, then it's another offensive lineman. If it's a defensive back, then it's a defensive back. If it's a line, I mean, so whoever's the best football player for us to make sure that we can get the most competitive team as we can, through our efforts, then that's where we're gonna go.
All right, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go 2 more, starting with Justin Rogers.
Hey, Brad, as you're kind of marrying some of your philosophies with Dan's, I'm just curious that the Saints really have invested a ton in their offensive line with early picks, and I'm just wondering as you've kind of picked his brain on what he learned there, how much has that kind of influenced your thinking in this early build of the roster?
Yeah, that's a good question. And Dan has shared with myself in terms of how their offensive line was set up. And when we sat down, Dan and I just started really looking at the roster as a whole. We actually identified the offensive line as a strength on our team. And so to be able to, let's just say feed the beast and add to that strength and just make it, even more of a powerful unit, that's really what it came down to. But yeah, Dan was great in terms of kind of just really articulating where these guys fit, and even the current players, if there's visions for these players at other positions on the offensive line. And so he's been outstanding in that regard. But we were definitely, our visions were aligned in terms of the ability to add a player like him and make that unit even more powerful.
And if I could just squeeze one more in, the big news around the league today was the Aaron Rodgers stuff, and I'm just wondering, as you're sitting in the draft room and kind of discussing all the possibilities, how much did you guys talk about that? How much of that was, an influence on, the night on a whole?
Well, obviously, because it's news within the division, we're aware of it. We talk about it, but obviously, it's speculation. But so, we can't really bank on anything or think that things going to happen. We just kind of just have a brief discussion about it, and then we got to get focused and take care of our business.
You could pray on it. Thanks, Brad.
All right, last question, Chris Burke.
Hey, Brad. It sounds like you're not going to give us the other 2 names that you had in mind there, but I'm just curious, Justin Fields obviously landed with the division rival as a guy I think you guys took a look at. What did you think about him as a prospect? And then did you have any teams calling that were interested in him to move up into that 7th spot?
Yeah, well, nobody nobody actually said specific prospects' names during the preliminary discussions, either earlier today or even at the pick. But obviously he's a very, very talented player. There's no doubt about it. But I will say that we did have Panay ranked higher. So even with him being there in the hopper, we felt better about Panay.
And then just real quick, if I could, do you see Panay as competing at the right tackle spot? Do you think you'll move Taylor? Just what's your initial vision for him?
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, I definitely think he will definitely compete at the right tackle spot for right now, for sure.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Brad. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.